Hello and welcome back. My name is Steven and you are here at the Articulous channel if you're new here. If you're not new here, you know that I've been working on my forge stand. For those of you that are new here, you don't know what I'm talking about necessarily. So I'm going to bring it up here. First of all, this is my forge. Well, kind of. It's soon to be my forge. This is going to be a propane forge from Mr. Volcano. This is their Hero 2 series. And I'm actually going to set this on the ground over here. And I've been building a forge stand. I have built it so far out of 1/4-inch plate steel and some 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch by like maybe 3/16 inch thick angle steel. This stuff is pretty nice, and overall the table itself pretty sturdy. It can handle quite a bit of weight. Like I can press down pretty decently on it, and it holds. The problem right now is that the legs right here want to bow inward. I don't want that. That's no bueno. So what my intent is for this video is to measure out and cut some steel, then drill through said steel and turn it into just some crossbars. They don't need to be fancy, they just need to hold the shape. And I'm gonna make those crossbars a little bit lower to the bottom of the actual feet. So what I need to do is I need to take some measurements in order to determine where I want the width of the legs to be, right? That is essentially the deal here. The hardest part, honestly, is going to be dealing with this on my workbench. This is a little bit unwieldy. Also, I'm going to be flipping my bolts inside out so that they're facing in. Might cut those off too. So much to do. I might just do that off camera, honestly. I don't want to overload these episodes, and they're already pretty darn long. Now, my welding technique has not improved. I have been crazy busy as per usual, and so I haven't had an opportunity to really work on that stuff. However, you can see a little bit of what I'm doing over here on this camera. Hopefully the shot works out okay. If not, I'll learn. You know, that's part of the process. It's part of the thing. Part of what I love about making videos is the iterative process behind making the videos, making said videos, in fact. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to continually get better, right? So what I'm going to do in order to get our width here, this distance here, and my distance here, my plan is to measure the angle steel at the plate side so that I can actually know what width I want. And that way, I'll be able to fasten these width and lengthwise. I may not have enough steel to go lengthwise first, but honestly, the lengthwise is not the one that scares me the most. The one that scares me the most is the width, because it's going to be more apt to topple, and that's also no bueno. So we're not gonna let that happen. So first step, measure my stuff. So my inner width to inner width right here is actually just about 12 inches. And over here we got 12 inches. But if I go up top, wow, okay. It's about the same width there, actually. Let's see what we got going on over here. Okay, so this one here is way narrower. Like way narrower, like problematically. It's like a full inch inward. So, I shift that around. And now we're way farther out. So, what I need to do is measure how much steel I've got. I put my drill right in the way. I do that frequently, actually. Rather irritating. I've got, let's say 32 inches there. I have a little bit more than that, but I'll plan on 32. And then this will probably be, what, 36? It says it's 36, but after that whole situation actually cutting the box for my forge top, yep, this is 36. I don't trust it. So I have 66 inches worth of steel. And if I go 12 and 12, that's going to be 24. And then this should be 24 from here. That is over 24. That's 24 and 3/4. So 24 and 3/4 times 2 is going to be 48 and a half. 49 and a half. 49 and a half. And we're going to double that even, right? No, that's 49 and a half. So I do not have enough steel to be able to do the width and the length. That's fine. That'll be fine because I can always pick up more steel. I can always reinforce this additionally. I also plan on taking this bit of steel here, and I want to make some foot caps, but I may not do that in this video. I want to cut it off so that it won't sink into dirt if I'm setting it on dirt, which at this juncture is the plan. So for now though, I need to measure out my just over 12 inches, right? So if I set this down like that, grab my trusty dusty paint marker, shake it up real good. How are you doing this week? This it's a little bit of a cool week for me, actually. If you don't know, over on TikTok and on Instagram, typically on Instagram, but definitely on TikTok, weekly on Mondays, I share how I am excited for something. And if you're watching this, you may have already seen that TikTok. That TikTok says that this Thursday is my 5th wedding anniversary. And if I am to believe myself, then I would know that that is, in fact, the case. It is my 5th wedding anniversary, and I'm super stoked for it because my wife is awesome. And the fact that she has put up with me for this long means that she must kind of be into me, just ever so slightly, you know. And which works out really, because I genuinely love that woman. That woman she's so great. Her name is Laura. If you would like, say hello to Laura in the comments. She is a wonderful person that allows me to do things like this and serve up content to you and edit it and spend time with my own kids and be overall a generally happy guy. Like I can't complain about that, you know? Like, find you a partner in life who lets you and likes you being lets you be and likes you being happy. Now that should kind of go without saying. You would think it would go without saying, but surprisingly, there are a lot of marriages that aren't great. My wife and I were just talking about that today. We were talking about how, like, some people that we've known throughout our lives have been like, oh, that 5-year mark, that's such a milestone mark. Like, oh man, if I could just make it to that. It's like, what are you talking about? 5 years. It shouldn't be hard. If it is difficult, talk to a counselor. Like, legitimately, they can work wonders on you. I gotta go cut some steel. But I just wanted to say publicly, shout it from the digital rooftops, that I love my wife and that we are on our 5th wedding anniversary as of you watching this video tomorrow, which is really cool. And also later this week, we might not be buying a car. Who knows? We'll see. We need some more reliable transportation that we don't have right now. For anybody that wonders when they do watch me, I don't think you can really see me off camera, why I use my file backwards and forwards rather than just forward or on the single stroke. So like this constantly, but I do this. It's because of a video by Fireball Tool. If you've never seen them, or if you've never seen his stuff, check him out. He's pretty nifty. Now I like that height, generally speaking, for this particular cage. And because I like that height, I'm going to mark it with, once again, my paint marker of accuracy and blessings and sweet flippin' automatic leveling. That's not true. I do want to level it just to make sure that it is, in fact, where I want it to be. Sure is. No. We're going to put this back up here right where we had it. Oh yeah, that's you can see it up here. That's cool. Sorry. Can I even do this? Probably not. It's probably not level. Let's just be real here. Knowing me, it's probably not level. But I don't have a smaller level here other than my phone. My phone back here. I think my small level, I can't remember what they call them, but I do have a smaller level. I think it's just hidden away somewhere, unless it's down here. Holy cow. I don't go out a whole lot anymore. Ever since the whole like COVID-19 thing. Okay, so we could stand to go up a little bit. I'm happy with that there. Ever since the whole COVID thing, so before COVID, I was a pretty extreme extrovert. I was going out real frequently. I was hanging out with people. I wasn't a partier, but I was definitely like a social person, like a socialite kind of person. And I loved hanging out with friends. I loved hanging out with family members. I loved doing whatever. We could sit by a bonfire and talk and have a cigar. We could, go downtown and just chat for a little while we're walking. We could go kayaking or whatever. I loved it. I was into all of it. And as time went on, I started to realize that I was actually starting to thoroughly enjoy, much more so, my privacy. Starting to enjoy my alone time, or my time where it was just me and my wife, or me and my wife and my son. And so I do a lot of things. I do not do a lot of things with other people. I don't know why I thought that would work. I love my friends, I really do. And I love hanging out with my friends and doing things. But I've come to appreciate the life of solitude that I get to lead when I want to. And it's just so nice. Can I just say it's so nice being able to lead that life of like relaxation when I want to, but then absolutely ramp up and be whatever I want to a degree, whenever. Like, again, my wife is fantastic, but I guess what I'm trying to get to is that I appreciate my friends and I love hanging out with them, but I also love just being home and being alone. And I do it more frequently than I probably would ever think that I would have. If you find yourself saying, I really don't want to go out with people, that's totally cool. Even if you're an extrovert, like it's totally cool to not go out with people. That's fine. You do you. But don't ever let anybody tell you that, don't let anybody ever tell you that you need to do something because you're an extrovert or an introvert or whatever. I find that annoying. And honestly, just plain crappy. To that end, however, or to oppose that, however, hanging out with people can be an absolute blast. And I do recommend that you try it if you don't normally like to do it. But try it in your own terms or try it in your own light. I got to go disc golfing with some friends this weekend. yesterday, in fact, and I ended up hiking 5 freaking miles up hills. And going out and hanging out with friends to play disc golf was a blast. See if our bolt will fit through. I doubt it will. Oh, baby. Well, isn't that just dandy? Well, since it goes through, we might as well hold up this end. Friggin' TikTok song stuck in my head. It's probably not an actual TikTok song. It's probably from somewhere else, and I just don't know the origin of it. But it's just like my money don't jiggle jiggle, it fold. Whatever, like, that song's stuck in my head. It's way too catchy. But anyway, went out disc golfing, hiked 5 freaking miles. Got to spend some time with some people that I don't normally get to hang out with a ton, and I truly appreciate it. I'm not a big nature person, personally. Never really have been, despite the fact that I grew up in a homestead. Didn't ever really like the heat. Hate bugs. Just absolutely despise bugs. But the conversation is always lovely. And along the way, we met somebody by the name of Julian? Yes. And we just had a lovely conversation with a stranger. I'm not saying go and talk to strangers all the time, because don't. Strangers can be problematic, to say the least. It's just a lovely feeling, you know? Living in the world that we do, where everybody is so divided and there's so much stuff going on all the time, and it's tiring, and it's frustrating trying to figure out constantly if you're supposed to belong to this group or that group, or you should believe this or should believe that, and nobody lets you just be neutral. Nobody lets you just go along your merry way and enjoy life for what it is. Life's so short anyway, and now we got to worry about everybody else's. Like, it's hard enough living my own life. Why do I have to live everybody else's for them or alongside them and try to solve all their problems? I don't have to do that. So I try not to. Being able to hang out with and talk to Julian was so cool. It was so nice to just meet a genuine person and hear some of their story and some of the fun that they get to have without having to worry about literally anything else. I recommend it. So now that this is over here, we're going to spin this puppy right round like a record, baby, right round, round. Hopefully I can ding up my camera some so that you can really get a sense of realism. Man, if I could film in 3D, I'd probably hate myself. If I had the ability to film in 3D, I would try so hard to do that, and I would hate it so much because it probably takes up so much hard drive space and so much memory to try to edit that video. There we go. So my hope is to go here. I hope to go right through there. Right to there. Put my hand up over top. And I have a relative idea of where I'm going to be putting that. So I'm going to drop in my clamp. I don't know why it felt so great to get out there and disc. I don't exercise a ton, and it was a cardio bomb to get out there, because we went to one of Northern Michigan's many disc golf courses, and of which we are spoiled with, because many of them are very pretty. We just got to walk the course and hang out and chat about life, about discing, all kinds of stuff. Oh, that would explain why you guys were shaking so much. My clamp was right up against you. Sorry about that. So you can see that bolt is going all the way through now. We're gonna do another one. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Hey. You can also see my my nice little monitor down here, which is cool. You don't really need to see that behind the scenes footage, but whatever. There's no good way for me to get at this. Gonna have to move you again. Side camera. So much production work for so little payoff. Like I've said before, one of my favorite, probably my most consistent hobby in my life has been this this video production stuff. You know, I'm not great at it, but I still greatly enjoy it. It's still probably my favorite pastime, other than hanging out with my kids. You know, and my wife, obviously. It just feels so nice to come out here and, you know, have a little bit of garage therapy, if you will. Seems to me, though, all of my pastimes currently involve me doing much more of a workout than I thought they would. Between the disc golfing and the hanging out with my kids, oh, come on, man, and this, I get quite the full body workout. I get my cardio and my lower body stuff in going out to one of the disc golf courses. At minimum, I get the full-on experience, like the full, like, total body failure workout, trying to run around the yard with my kids and trying to keep up with them. That's tough, man. It's tough keeping up with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Then I come in here and I get these compressions, these pectoral compressions that I gotta do. Man, by the time I'm done with all these hobbies, I'm gonna be friggin' ripped. I have a shorter piece of steel, don't I? Oh, and for the record, I actually could do these crossbars. I do have another piece of my flat steel. Another piece of this stuff, but it is much thicker. And maybe that's preferable, actually. There, that's a lot harder to wiggle back and forth. Pretty solid there. That just tells me I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Now what I can do is I can just take this. I should be able to just take this off of here, actually, now that I think about it, and mark my next piece and cut and drill my holes in a much easier setting for this. That would be the smart way to do it. So why am I doing it? That's a great question. That's a great question. Ask the elders. Sire, why? Why is Stephen doing this thing that he knows is intelligent? That's not his modus operandi. It is because, young man, or woman, or whatever you are, it is because he is learning his own lessons. I don't know why I went into a full RP session there with you. But it's okay. Because we're here. We have our similar interests. Apparently. You're here. I'm here. Why do I keep going back to that voice? I don't know. I don't know, Margot. That is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation reference. One of my favorite movies, and probably the most, I would say, probably the best Christmas movie, in my opinion, of all time. It's better than Every Time a Bell Rings or whatever it is. It's a Wonderful Life. Can't stand that movie. I really just cannot stand that movie. I really do not like that movie at all. Oh, come on. A Christmas Story is fine. Oh, you rolled. It's fine. Also, not my favorite. It's fine. But if you're looking for actual entertainment, if you're looking for actual comedy, watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, because it is worth every moment of it. And if you don't agree, you're wrong. We don't accept other people's opinions here. You're just wrong. I'm joking, of course. Or am I? Or am I? Of course I am. I don't say a whole lot of incredibly serious things on this channel. I find serious to be rather frustrating most of the time. But, I say that. I kind of have to retract that statement a little bit. Because I tend to be a pretty serious person overall. Anybody that knows me, or has spent any length of time with me, knows that I am a pretty serious person. I don't, and my seriousness is through sarcasm. Or my humor is through sarcasm. My seriousness shines through even in my sense of humor, which is bananas. I forgot to mark my other end. Oh well. Which is insane. Anybody whose sense of humor is, oh yeah, I'm Abbott from Abbott and Costello. You know that they're just ridiculously boring. Incoming loud sounds. I'm going to be center punching. I'm going to be center punching now. Just 1, 2, 3 times the charm. Center punching holes. And split the difference. If you don't know what this is a center punch. It allows you, or a transfer punch. It allows you to take your markings or your holes or whatever. And it will allow you to center them over. I could have done it with the other piece of steel on here. That would have been the better way to do it, but I didn't do that. Oh well. Yeah, so the other thing that I need to do is... Where'd my other crossbar go? There it is. I need to take this, line up, I need to mark it for cutting. So next thing I gotta do, I gotta measure. No. The next thing I gotta do sweep some of that out of there. All right, next thing I gotta do, take my tape measure that's over here. I gotta measure my height from the base of here up, and we are at 25, and should be all the measurements I actually need to do this. Drink some water. If you're working in your own shop, if you're doing this stuff, make sure you're staying hydrated. It stands to reason, makes sense, I shouldn't have to remind you, but I forget sometimes. Coffee and soda are not good hydrators. Water, 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 water. I love me some soda. I am a Coke Zero fiend. I drink way too much Coke Zero. It is unhealthy. But what are you gonna do? Am I right? Stop drinking it? No. It's not an intervention. This is my channel. You hear me? Right here, right now. This is my channel. It's not an intervention. This is not for you to come at me and say, you need to stop drinking Coke Zero. No. No. We're now going by the top marks here. You cannot see what I'm doing currently. It's okay. I will fix that. I've got lines here. I've got a line here. I've got a line and a couple dots here. This is what my initial measurement was based on the bottom of the bar from the front set that you see. This right here is my actual measurement leveled. So now I can back this up. And this is not going to be too terribly interesting to watch. This is just me drilling more holes. Let's get down to business to get that copyright claim. Did they send their lawyers to repeat again? You're the saddest YouTuber I've ever met, and you can bet before we're through, Mr. I'll get a jailbird out of you. No, I know that didn't follow melody. I didn't know a good word for jailbird that would work there. Doesn't work with the rhythm. Now I've got a hole that I can drill there. And what I'm going to do is actually flip my grip around. Now that we're clamped, to make sure we are still level. We are close enough for government work. And I think we're gonna flip you around. I have a lot that goes through my head on a frequent basis. I mean a lot. Like, I'm sure it's probably a sign of ADD or ADHD or some sort of other mental condition where I've got a severe hyperfixation. I think it's ADD that I read recently was the one that does this, but I've got a hyperfixation issue. And it's really a problem because it ends up costing me a lot of money. Where I want to do all kinds of things all the time. I want to do the coolest things, the best things, the most fantastic things. And I can never quite manage to do them because I don't give them enough time in the day. I don't give them enough practice. So I spend a bunch of time and a bunch of money more focused on just getting into it. Then I enjoy it for a little bit, then move on to the next thing. The only thing I haven't done that with is my content creation. And believe me, I've lost interest in doing it here and there. But generally speaking, I thoroughly enjoy it. But disc golfing, blacksmithing stuff I'm still going through with. So we'll see how that turns out. But my one wheel, trading card games. I love all of those things, but I want to be the best at all of them, but I don't want to do all of them the justice they deserve to be the best at, you know? And so it leads me down a rabbit hole of buying and using and then like reading up and getting interested and then buying and then playing around with and then finding out I suck and then dropping off and not fulfilling what I want to do. I've done it with language, I've done it with hobbies, I've done it with work before. It really sucks. I really hate it. I've thought about talking to my doctor to get like medication or whatever for it, but I also don't want to be on medication for it because I feel like a big part of who I am rests in that jack of all trades. That whole, like, I'm a little bit of everything. The flip side of that is when I'm not focused. The flip side is when I don't care or I don't understand something and I just end up not doing what I need to do. Not doing my job, not doing my schoolwork, not doing what I told my wife I would do for our marriage, for raising our kids. It leads to a whole slew of problems. And I get really airheaded really quickly. And I hate that just as much. Haha! I finally killed the battery on this. I don't think I've killed a battery yet, honestly. I always try to preemptively charge them, but thankfully, the set that I purchased for my drill came with 2 batteries. So hopefully we'll be able to keep going. These batteries too, like I'm not sponsored by Milwaukee. Although Milwaukee, if you want a spokesperson who can show the world what kind of a beating your tools can actually make or take, hit me up, man. Like I am down to clown on that front. For all 21 of my subs currently. If you'd like to support the channel and see me continue to get nicer equipment and up the production value a little bit for the content, let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I can set up a Patreon or something like that. And the reason I say that is because I am about to enter into, likely going to enter into a contract with a loan company for a new vehicle this week. And so I need to cut back on my personal spending for my hobbies and things like that quite a bit because we need the vehicle. Right now we're driving a couple of 2007 cars. Whoa, baby. Going rogue. We've got a couple of 2007s. And while they have treated us well over the years, they're really starting to show that they're ready to be retired. And I don't blame them. They don't have that many miles on them. However, one of them, I believe the entire front end of it was destroyed in a car accident at one point. And the other one has just been driven pretty hard. It hasn't been... It's been taken care of as far as like oil changes and things like that, but like it's just, I don't know, it shakes a lot. It's a lightweight car, so it shakes a lot when it gets up to highway speeds. And that makes me nervous. We've got some trips planned that we want to do, and just even driving, an hour out of town makes us nervous with our either one of our cars right now. Like we could maybe make it an hour out with one of ours comfortably. But beyond that, I wouldn't want to get too far away from home, especially if it were like a Sunday and I needed to be to work the next day or whatever. So it'll just be nice to have, a car that we can rely on for a distance, driving downstate or driving for a couple of hours or even driving to other states. That'd be a real nice option as well. My mom and I are pretty big whiskey fans, so we would love to, at some point, make our way to Texas. And I say Texas specifically because there are a couple of a couple of distilleries down there that have caught my and her eye. The Whiskey Tribe is a channel here on YouTube that I frequent. And they have a crowd-funded distillery called the Crowded Barrel. And the Fang and Feather is their tasting room / cocktail bar kind of deal. And they do some pretty cool stuff from what I hear. But Michigan, in its archaic ways, will not allow me to order alcohol online. And so that's frustrating. I still have one more hole to drill because I forgot about that. But I'd love to drive down there because they also have Balcones Distillery, which is, oh my God. If you're into whiskey at all and you haven't had Balcones, check it out. It's unlike any other whiskey you've ever had, and it's worth it. Again, Milwaukee, hit me up for that sponsorship deal. And we're just about done. There we go. That already feels a lot better. So let's flip it up and check it out. The only other thing I'd be worried about is the rocking back and forth, which I probably should put some supports on, but I can either do that. I'll probably do that for next week's video. And yes, the refractory is upcoming. Trust me, I'm anxious about it. I want to get it done. I really do. I want to be forging this summer. Oh, that is so much better. Holy cow, that is so much better. Since I'm going to be putting material, I'll be putting material into the forge and moving it this way and this way a lot, like laterally, I think I do want to put those supports in. And I'll show you what kind of stock I'm looking at putting in there. Just some cheap stuff from Home Depot. Nothing insane, nothing incredible, but this is my baby. This is my forge. So that's pretty nifty. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that. You can see it over here just fine. I'm pretty happy with that. It does not rock this way like at all, other than like the feet themselves are kind of narrow. So again, I'll cut up some angle steel and make that happen. So that's no big deal. Yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and throw me a like. If you got suggestions for what else I could do to improve the forge, please leave them in the comments below. If you're brand new here, please check that subscribe button, see if it's red. If it is, go ahead and click it, and then click the bell and the all selection, and you'll get to know whenever I post a new video and when I go live, if I get back to that anytime soon. Thanks so much for watching and sticking out this project with me. I know it's been drawn out over the last few weeks. My time is limited during the week, man. I'm really sorry. So hopefully we'll get to forging really soon, but shop setup is just as important in my opinion. With that said, thanks so much again, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a good one.